The Philippine Coast Guard has installed 5 more navigational buoys in critical areas of the West Philippine Sea in a move to assert Manila's sovereignty in the waters. The sovereign markers with the Philippine flag were placed in the Patag, Kota, and Panata Islands, Juan Felipe Reef, and the Balagtas fishing grounds. This comes amid China's actions in the West Philippine Sea. Let's now get the thoughts of foreign policy and security analyst Lucio Blanco Pitlo, joining us now on the phone from Taiwan. Thank you so much for joining us, Lucio. First of all, how strategic are the locations of these 5 navigational buoys in critical areas of the West Philippine Sea?
Thank you, Rico, again for having me at your show. Again, these are acts of sovereignty. These are parts of so-called effective occupation. So the navigational buoys were put in features that we have long administered, since the 70s, and also in certain important fishing grounds where Filipinos regularly operate.
So, Lucio, tell us, in May 2022, the PCG already installed 5 sovereign markers near the Likas Island, the Parola Island, Lawak Island, and Pag-asa Island. But China continues its aggressive actions in these disputed waters. Do these additional buoys, in your view, escalate the tensions between the Philippines and the mainland?
No, I don't think so. I think these are just a routine. These are, as I said, these are acts of sovereignty. So these are actions that are being taken by government to show, to assert our sovereign rights, our sovereignty on these features, sovereign rights over the waters, and also jurisdiction in this area, because these are part of the Kalayaan Island Group. So we have been doing this even before, even the previous administration, when relations were good. So I don't think there is any correlation between the signals that we want to send in terms of doing these actions and eliciting this kind of reaction from China.
All right, fair enough. You don't expect any reaction from Beijing with these additional 5 navigational buoys. But the Philippine Coast Guard plans to install 6 more this year, Lucio. Where do you believe will these additional buoys be located?
Well, I think it will also be within that area of the Kalayaan Island Group, and also on certain fishing grounds where our fishermen routinely, peacefully, for generations, they access these rich fishing areas. So we want to send a message not only to China, but also to other claimants that we are here, and our presence is marked by this navigational buoys, and the PCG would be conducting regular patrols in this area to, of course, provide assurance and security to our fishermen operating in these waters.
All right, you already have 10 now. You'll have an additional 6 buoys by year's end to show China our country's sovereign rights and jurisdiction over the exclusive economic zone. Should there be more than 16? Should there be 20, 30, 40, 50 of these navigational buoys to prove our point?
Well, I think it's the Philippine Coast Guard will identify areas where our fishermen congregate, regularly fish during the fishing season. And I understand that President Marcos also gave a marching orders to the Department of Foreign Affairs to identify fishing grounds and map these areas, and on the basis of this, enter into some discussions with China and Vietnam,
right,
to try to avoid incidents of interference on the fishing activities of our kababayans.
And Lucio, you're currently in Taiwan. What is the sentiment of our more than 100,000 Filipinos who were there? Are they feeling tense, stressed that potentially an invasion from China is imminent? Lucio?
Hello?
Hello, Lucio.
Yeah. I think that the regular exercises, there were exercises being made by the mainland, and I think Taiwan will also make corresponding exercises.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word. Foreign Policy and Security Analyst Lucio Blanco Pitlo.